Nuggets just make a terrible decision. This is your Denver Sports Daily for April 9th.
The biggest stories, the latest news. It's Denver Sports Daily.
Yesterday, the Nuggets shook the basketball world when they decided to fire head coach Michael Malone and general manager Calvin Booth with only 3 games remaining in the regular season. Now, while the decision to fire them may not be a surprise, the timing surely is, and it feels honestly disrespectful to fire Michael Malone before the postseason this close after all that he's done for this team. Now, if you've listened in the past, I've talked about how if the Nuggets can't make a good playoff run, you're going to say goodbye to Michael Malone. He's most likely going to get let go. Same thing with Calvin Booth. Calvin Booth had a bit more of a reason to be fired, and I'll get into that in a second, but the timing of it, firing him before he even gets another shot in the playoffs, it's disrespectful. This guy is the most winningest coach in Nuggets history. He has a record of 471 and 327 after 10 seasons. He also brought this team its first ever championship. Look at him. We can't forget how legendary he was. Now, Calvin Booth was also responsible for the championship, bringing in key pieces like Bruce Brown, KCP, and Reggie Jackson, but he's also responsible for losing all those players. That team was great in the championship run. In 2023, that was the best team out there. It was. That was the best team in the league, and they proved it by winning the finals. They did everything right, and Michael Malone was responsible for that. He was great, and sure, it was a bad skid recently. They've been on a terrible losing streak. These 4 games that they've lost in a row when Nikola Jokic is averaging a 45-point triple-double, just in those 3 games that he's played in, you can't lose games like that. And when that happens, it falls onto the coach, not as much as the players. Now, Nuggets owner Josh Kroenke released a statement saying, "It is with no pleasure that we announce we have relieved Michael Malone of his head coaching duties effective immediately. David Letterman will assume our head coaching role for the remainder of the 2024-25 season. This decision was not made lightly and was evaluated very carefully. And we do it only with the intention of giving our group the best chance at competing for the 2025 NBA championship and delivering another title to Denver and our fans everywhere." That statement there, you look at it, we made it very carefully. We evaluated it. It was not made lightly. Give the guy, I get it. That's a hard decision to make. Give the guy another playoff chance. Let him go to the playoffs and prove that he can do something. At least give him the benefit of the doubt. Has Michael Malone not earned that? Has he not? He's won a championship. He's the most winning coach in the Nuggets franchise. You got to give the guy a chance to go out in the playoffs one more time and prove something. You got to. You have to. And there's been, a lot of interactions around this Denver locker room. There's been things that have happened that are obviously like pointing to the signs that Malone may have lost the locker room. You look at there was a fight between Calvin Booth and Michael Malone, a verbal fight just the other day after one of the losses. These are the kinds of things that break apart a team, and you can't break it all up. You can't blow it up right before a postseason run. You can't. I'm very interested to see how this team will react to the shakeup, both on and off the court, and how it will affect the upcoming playoff run, because it will. It will affect the playoff run. It's not going to be the same team. You're not going to see the same plays. You're not going to see the same kind of movement and running and motivation from this team, because how the players feel, I'm sure that they're all upset by this. You look at Nikola Jokic, the cornerstone of this franchise, the best player in history for this team and a top 10 player probably of all time. That's the one coach that he's known in the NBA for his entire career. So how's that going to affect his play as soon as he goes in the playoffs for the first time without Michael Malone? It surely will. It's going to affect his play. I just want to see how it will. Now, moving on, it is a Nuggets game day. Tonight, the Nuggets are taking on the Sacramento Kings in their 4th and final matchup of the season. Obviously, this game is going to be crazy to watch. It's going to be the first time we see Michael Malone not as a head coach for the Nuggets since we've had Nikola Jokic in 10 years. Now, the Nuggets are 3-0 against the Kings this season, and they'll need to keep that streak alive if they don't want to slip in the standings. This game actually has some major playoff implications. If the Nuggets lose, they could slip all the way down to 7th place. They could fall far, but the Kings also need a win. Now, they did clinch a play-in victory or a play-in berth, but they need to keep their winning streak alive. This is going to be a hard-fought game. This is not going to be a throwaway game that you usually see for the Nuggets at the end of the season. They're in risk of slipping into the play-in and not making it to the regular playoffs like they have for the past several seasons. It's going to be scary. It's going to be a game out there where nobody wants to lose. Now, there's no way of knowing how the recent coaching change will affect the Nuggets' play tonight, but they'll need to be their best, again, if they want to salvage any hope to make a deep playoff run this season. Now, Nikola Jokic, of course, is looking to continue to put a cap on his MVP run as he's averaging now a 30-point triple-double. Yet he's still the second place player in the voting. He's behind Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, a 30-point triple-double, and he is second. I will never understand that if he doesn't win this season, which he's looking like he won't. I will forever hold it against the NBA. Now, the Nuggets are heading into tonight's matchup as 3-point favorites, and that game will tip off at 8 p.m. It's going to be a crazy game. Don't expect this to be one that the Nuggets just lie and take it. Same thing with the Kings. This is going to be a hard-fought battle. And again, there is no telling how the Nuggets will play tonight without Michael Malone. Are they going to be upset? Is it going to be visible in their play? We'll just have to watch tonight. I'm definitely going to be tuned in. You won't be able to pull me away from the TV because this is going to be an insane game. But moving on to some good news, the Avalanche were able to get a 3-2 win against the Vegas Golden Knights last night in the most fitting way. Now, the Avs and Knights split their series before last night, each winning one of the matchups, but with the Avs only win coming off of a shootout victory back in November. And last night, they followed that up with another shootout win. Val Nichushkin and Jimmy Vesey scored twice in the second period to even up the game at 2-2. Then in the shootout, Charlie Coyle scored on the final shot to win the game. Scott Wedgwood allowed 2 through while saving 19, recording a .905 save percentage. He also saved all 3 shots in the shootout. Just incredible play from Scott Wedgwood. Those guys, Wedgwood and Blackwood, they are the best players on this team. Honestly, I'll say it. Forget about everybody else. Forget Nathan MacKinnon. Get him out of here. Scott Wedgwood and Mackenzie Blackwood are the catalysts of this team. These guys are insane. They're going to be the reason the Avs win a Stanley Cup this season. I guarantee it. If the Avs win a Stanley Cup, I've said it multiple times, I'm buying a Mackenzie Blackwood jersey. I'm buying it right away. I'm getting it. It's no doubt that he is one of the best trade acquisitions the Avs have made, not only this season, but he could go down as one of the best in the past 10 years. Now, the Avs are sitting comfortably in the 3rd spot in the Central Division with only 3 games remaining in the regular season. Not much is looking to change from where the Avs are in the standings, but again, it's good to go into the playoffs with some confidence. Getting a win against a solid, formidable team like the Golden Knights is always very important. Now, that's going to do it for your Denver Sports Daily. Again, huge Nuggets game tonight. Going out against the Kings. How are they going to be able to play without Michael Malone sitting there coaching them? It's going to be interesting to see. I'm very, very interested. Let's see. TBH, I think they can make owners. We're done hearing Booth and Malone argue. Yeah, no, that's definitely a good point. Those guys are always getting into it. There was something wrong in that locker room and with that management. There was definitely some anger, an animosity towards each other. Those guys were not clicking. And I think that, the Avs or the Nuggets ownership wanted to just rebuild the whole thing instead of kind of getting into that NFL thing where you hire a new coach and then he doesn't like the GM, and then you hire a new GM and he doesn't like the coach, and there's all that movement. You just need to kind of reset. A hard reset is usually the best, because if you get rid of Calvin Booth and Michael Malone doesn't like the new GM, that's just going to cause more animosity, not only towards Michael Malone, but from Michael Malone to the ownership. It's how that builds. That's how that anger builds, and how that's how losing starts. So maybe it will turn out to be a good decision, but still, getting rid of Michael Malone this close to the postseason, I will never be a fan of. But that'll do it for your Denver Sports Daily. I'll be back with you guys again tomorrow, recapping hopefully a big Nuggets victory. They need this. They need a win tonight. If not, then we could be seeing the Nuggets in the play-in for the first time ever. They've never been in the play-in, and they could for the first time if they lose a game like they play tonight. Now, that'll do it for your Denver Sports Daily. We'll see you all tomorrow. Until then, y'all have a great rest of your day. Bye, y'all.